This is Crippled System Video Podcast 4.
Five.
This is Katie, Bad Horse on the forums.
I'm Nathan, Radio fan.
And this is Jeff. Jeff Prime, I guess.
Yes.
Yes, Jeff Prime.
Jeff and I played Circle v Circle. I played a Chromac list. I have Chromac, 2 units of Shrimpy, 2 units of Stone, the Scarspell Griffin, a Druid Wilder, 2 Stalkers, and a Getter X.
And I'm playing Kruger 1. And it's the second time I've ever played Kruger 1. And he's pretty good. And I have a Stalker, a Feral, a Gorax in his battle group, Druid Wilder, 2 sets of Shifting Stones, 1 with a UA, 2 units of Wold Stalkers, and what else do I have in there? Oh, yeah, Skinwalkers with a Witch Doctor. That's always important.
So you guys are like 80% overlap. It's like
Yes.
Stalker, 2 units of Stones,
Yep.
2 units of Shrimp. What else? Do you both have Getterex? Did either have Getterex? Yeah.
No.
I have Getter X. He did not.
Still.
But I like to point out a lot of people in the Madison area copy everything I do in Circle.
That is
So-
true.
Who's been playing Circle longer?
Clearly I have.
Yeah,
Clearly. I've been playing since I was 12.
No, you haven't.
True.
Anyway,
Side
so let's
note.
start.
No, see, you don't see that's unprofessional. You just say now let's start because then it's like all awkward. What you have to do is just naturally work something into a conversation.
Hey.
Like say, "Hey, I sure do love snossages." And nobody knows then that snossages was the key word to start the recording.
You just told him.
No, well, hypothetically.
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 If
was
sausages was
the
So
word.
you can see my belly, which I'm not excited about.
Oh, it's no big deal.
Ooh,
and
there's
then-
cleavage.
You can see my belly, too.
You don't have a belly.
There's a belly
Jeff
there.
hides it well.
There's a belly there.
Jeff's got
But
He's a
right now
fat
we're just
fuck is what
figuring
I'm
out
saying.
stones because we each have 2 units of them, and they're both painted very similarly to the other
Yeah,
unit.
2 different ways of playing stones, too. I've got the big triangle, little triangle. It's like Katie's doing the 2 triangles.
And I'd like to point out that this is the second game I played in like 3 or 4, 6 months. And so my usage of the stones was not something to be copied.
Rewind a minute here.
Well.
It looks to me, as someone who wasn't there when you played this game, that you guys are playing Incursion. Would that be a correct choice?
That is
yeah.
correct. You can't see the 3rd flag behind the building there.
Behind the, I'm going to call that a church.
I sure hope
Church.
that flag disappeared. Otherwise, there's
Nope.
going to be a lot. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of obscured action.
There might not be. It'll probably be okay.
All right,
It'll probably be
we'll
just fine.
hope it. Also, in case anybody's confused and humming yakety sax in the back of their head, this does appear to be running at double speed.
Yeah. Be good to get ready. So let's see.
Katie's going first. What's happening? What's happening here, lady?
I'm just moving everyone up a little bit. That's all I did. It's
Were there
taking-
thoughts? Were there plans? You're playing Incursion. Did that factor into things?
It did not. I find the best way to play is just to run everything up and then see what's left. And then go from there.
Where'd you put your buffs?
I put Wild Aggression on my Stalker to the right of Chromac, which is right next to the Getter X. I would point, but it does no good. And then I put Warpath onto Chromac, and I put a Variable Resolve onto Getter X.
I was thinking we do need to look in to figure out if we can get the Telestrator.
Yes.
Because
That
that would
would
be
be-
really cool.
that'd be
Like we
amazing.
could
That would
like
be
circle
fun.
stuff
Oh,
here.
hey, also I have a Werewolf, which I didn't have the card to. I blame my husband for that. So I was playing them with Speed 6.
We blame your husband for a lot of things. Are they speed 7?
They are Speed 7.
Oh, I hope it didn't fall an inch short of an important charge or anything like that.
It did not.
Okay,
It
good.
did not. It got where it needed to go.
You were supposed to take Swamp Guy, right? You told me you were going to.
Oh, for anybody who's wondering why there's suddenly random awkward silence, that's because a drunken Jeremy is distracting his wife off mic. He promised to shut up and not disturb us, but that was hollow lies. We all knew that was hollow lies.
Well, it was hollow promises, and they were lies. I mean, they were
They
genuine
were hollow
lies.
promises that were filled with lies.
Yes.
So it's like, a chocolate and peanut butter egg. Oh my God, now I'm being hovered over by a beard.
You could just give Jeremy the unplugged mic, and then he could just talk into that.
Oh, it's a great idea.
He'd just think it was a real mic.
You never know.
So you're continuing your strategy of running everything forward.
Yep, continuing that strategy. The first turn's
Were there
always
particular
really boring.
areas they ran to? Did you deploy? What? Nothing?
Well, I always deploy with my 2 shrimp flanking the rest of my beasts. And they don't, because they have a 10-inch range. They always do a really good job. They've never been out of range, so it seems to work well. And then my werewolf always goes up and just gets in people's way because it's a point, and that's what I had left in this thing.
He'd do that more effectively if he was speed 7.
He would do it more effectively if he was
Indeed.
speed 7.
Yeah, he's still a pretty good road bump, though. Isn't he defense 14?
He's 13, 12.
Defense 13, okay.
Because I thought he was 14 and 13, and that's when we had to pull out the card, because I couldn't remember.
To be fair, if he was only speed 6, he'd probably... Wow, that's the
yeah.
word. Why are you using that goddamn forest?
Because, I don't know, because the table was already set up for us. I think this was a practical joke by Carnage.
It's got to be, yeah.
And I was hoping that ring would be the same size as the woods, and it is not.
So right there, that's when I said, hey, maybe I should know what your feat does.
I assume handing the card. So
I had forgotten. I haven't played him in a while.
So they're moving my tree up. I forgot to say I snuck a gallows grove in there. And I'm moving the tree up behind that wall. Thinking, I'll probably get a good chain lightning over there.
I am happy
it's probably
after
a terrible
last...
chain lightning.
After our last game, I'm happy that you've caught on to asking people what their feats do at the beginning of the game as opposed to after they say, I feat.
Well, you got to learn with each game that you play. So sometimes you start from scratch.
Yes.
You have to relearn everything.
Well, this was like your second game in the last 6 months, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna bring that up a lot. It's gonna explain a lot of the errors that you see here going on. We're gonna blame that.
Jeff, you've played more than that game, so are you gonna have an excuse of your own?
No excuses here.
Okay.
There's no excuses.
Just raw
What happened
incompetence.
happened.
He's
happened.
more of a man than I am, so I can't admit that.
Yeah.
I have to come up with something.
So my positioning here on the Woldstalkers is knowing how far they can shoot and move and all that jazz. And so I basically moved them just kind of out of range.
Sure.
Moving my Skinwalkers up. I don't think I've moved my Witch Doctor yet, but they'll get undead tough.
Oh, look at that cheating.
What'd I do?
What's cheat?
You bumped the model.
Oh, see there, I was like, you were cheating.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, do you remember that? Because we were like, oh, that's going to come into play later.
Yeah,
Like, that's what lost the game.
We were joking about that. That did happen.
I am so angry that stupid CD forest is on the table.
Yeah, it gets pretty annoying.
It's the worst piece of
Thankfully,
terrain
I
in the
get out
store.
of it pretty soon here. But I'm sticking right in it for
It
now.
deserves to be either not on the table or dead center by that flag in the way. Those are the two acceptable choices.
We actually rearranged this. It was even worse. Like, everything was just kind of piled into the middle when we first sat down.
Yeah, there wasn't one woods, kind of like
there
where
were
there is
three
over
little
there.
trees.
Yeah, there were just like 3 little mini woods that were like 1 inch by 2 inches across.
So, like the trees that you set on top of a forest
Yes.
to dictate that it's a forest?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sounding like this wasn't a table that was actually set up.
Seems
It
more
had
like
a lot of
40K table.
it had a lot of terrain though, so I imagine that it was actually set up.
Oh my god, there were some people playing 40K in the store this morning when I was there playing board games, and I just wanted to shoot myself by proxy. Like, they had like 30 tomes of paperwork to figure out what their models had, and it took them like 6 hours to set up this game, and it's like, why are you doing this to yourself?
that's not happening in this game. So my beasts are moving around. I warped armor on the feral. Stalker goes, prowl, hides in the woods. The horrible, horrible woods there.
I'm starting to notice I talk with my hands quite a bit.
You're a woman. Women tend to do that. What the heck was that hand gesture? You were either starting a car, like via pantomime, or you were doing titty twisters, or you were masturbating.
What's going on?
Could be a little.
She was just
each.
waving her hand up in the air like this.
It's hard to tell when we're doing it. Okay, here's Kruger. And I go, looks like that tree's in range. Looks like I can drop. Now, this chain lightning, when I cast it, I'm just thinking, I'll get rid of all those Woldstalkers, or a handful of them, and that'll be good.
Way to overmeasure.
I didn't. Well, yeah, and she called me on it too. She's like, to the model, please.
Nice. Good job, Katie.
So there it hits, and this is pretty awesome. When I roll for leaps, that would be
That'd be a
6. That would be 6 leaps there.
And that was not fun for me.
No, we count out right here where they go, and it bounces right into the stones, into the stone keeper, and into the wilder.
Yeah, the wilder was the one that actually hurt. I was very upset about that.
So seeing that, I'm like, all right, well, I know what I'm going to do with 2 more of my focus. I'll be boosting damage against those targets.
Right.
And
Kruger has focus now?
what's that?
Kruger gets focus?
Yeah.
Every
neat trick.
turn. Oh, fury.
Oh, he
excuse
gets
me,
fury,
I'm not
okay.
using proper terms. Excuse me.
No, he gets focus too.
Oh, that's,
It
dude,
helps. That way he has fury. And
They should make a
clutch.
character who does that, like has 3 of each or something.
Oh my god.
No, that'd be awful.
That'd be weird rules.
It would be weird.
So there's me blowing up. That was a boosted one there. That must have been the stone keeper, and that
Yeah,
does
it
cause
was.
1 stone to be out of formation. Then
Which actually comes into play later as well.
Spoilers.
and then just let whatever damage happens on the stalker. It's like
I like how you had your hands on the stalker, like you're going to take him off the table when he died from the arc lightning. Like, it was like
and of course into the wilder, and that's a boost.
I was
And,
upset about it.
that'll drop her.
She died.
So that was good for Kruger, and I think I went ahead and cast Deflection then with his last two. I felt pretty safe where I was. I was behind a lot of skinwalkers that were tough. My stones hadn't moved yet either. They were probably going to go and get in the way as well.
fascinating. So the Steam sale's going on right now. That thing's dangerous.
Oh my god, that is dangerous.
So yeah, I've only bought like 4 or 5 things so far, but each time I'm like, I need to not buy anything. Nope, too late. Wallet flew out of my pants.
I'm still amazed at the number of times that I go to buy a game. I'm like, oh, this is a great deal in this game. I'm going to go buy it. And I go to buy it, and it's like, you already own it. Would you like to play it? I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I've got too many games.
See, the key, though, with the wallet is you just memorize your credit card number.
Actually,
and then,
Steam has it saved.
Oh, perfect.
And so you just click on a game, and Steam's like, okay, I just charged you because I know your number already. We don't need it. And I'm like, oh, God, Steam.
Mine's PayPal, so I at least have to enter my PayPal password.
No, I just have to. I have to click the yes, I am drunk enough to buy this button, and
Does it
then
make you do
Shazam.
math like
No,
Google?
it doesn't make you do math. I don't have to get my card. It's just like I want to buy this, and it's like okay, done. I bought the expansion of Binding of Isaac today. I mean, that was 74 cents. You can't not buy something for 74 cents. It's against the law.
You'll probably get 75 cents worth of gameplay out of that
Exactly.
game.
I play the crap out of Binding of Isaac.
Speaking of which, did you pick up Orcs Must Die 2?
I picked up Orcs Must Die 2. That was one of the things that I bought. I bought that yesterday.
We need to get some multiplayer going with
Carnage and I played it for like 5 hours this morning. I had never played it before, and he's like, we're going to play this, and I picked it up pretty quickly.
All right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a half day tomorrow. Do you want to play games?
I work until 4.
We'll
I
take
work.
it
I
after
can't
work.
just take half days like you cubicle working sons of bitches
I'm
can.
not just taking a half a day. They give me a half a day. They give me 4
I
half
don't have
days
that.
until
Are you
Labor
actually
Day.
making an excuse for having a half day?
It's not vacation, okay?
It's not vacation.
earned.
Wait,
I
what-
get paid
what it-
for it.
Oh, you're pausing the clock to see
I
what flag goes away.
believe-
Yeah, you
we're-
pause the
we're-
clock
we're
and it's going
figuring
to
it
yell
out.
at you, but it's. That'll make things
It's a
interesting.
big surprise which flag goes away there.
That's actually the first time I've ever had the middle flag go away.
What?
That
Yeah.
makes the game interesting. Like that makes instead of playing the game on a 4-foot by 2.5-foot table, now you're playing 2 half games, and it's weird.
Hey, do you remember how last time I forgot to reave my Fury when we played?
Yeah,
Just reaved it.
good job.
Yeah, she's doing good in that respect.
See, brushing that
What
rust
do you mean
off.
in that respect? What are you trying to say here?
Well, nothing. What?
What?
So back to Katie. Flag drops.
Tell us what's happening here, Katie. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk more about the Steam sale.
I'm moving my shrimp up, and they're going to attack his gallows scrolls. They, I believe, did concentrated fire.
Yep.
Because I didn't have a reason to zephyr them. And then I'm going to do a Brian and move them all over the place, even though I've already set them down.
Well, you technically had enough movement on all of them to continue moving.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to
you
move.
have to
Yeah.
stop
you can't.
moving and then move
Stop.
to the next one. That's
You
true.
can't-
So my
yeah.
dice are going to be lights out for the hits, and then if you look at the damage rolls, that's like
Yeah, I'm
ridiculously low.
I'm counting up damage on them, and I'm forgetting about deflection. And the damage rolls are low.
Yeah, that one was I think like a 4.
Yeah, it looked like a pair of 2s.
Yeah,
And
That was
I
a
got-
10 to hit.
Yeah.
and that was a 1 and a 2.
Yep,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
It
1-2s
was
and
terrible,
1-1s
'cause,
rolled
like,
here
I
for
didn't
damage.
I needed a 4 to hit, and then I needed to roll like at least like 6s for damage, and they just were backwards. It was
Oh, but
But
then
there
all
I go removing it because I'm like, oh yeah, you got it. And I don't actually. You'll see me measure here in a few seconds where I'm like, oh yeah, deflection.
yeah.
Oh,
And I asked
that's
him
a
if he wanted to
thing.
put it back on, and he said no. So
Nah.
just gonna point out.
This
how
is,
it's
well, this is
being
a friendly
amazing.
game.
Well, and also once the model's moved off the table, it's not rewindable.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
can't accurately place it back on the table.
I felt as though I got my use out of the tree.
Well,
I must
yeah,
have warpath there. I was like, why am I moving my stalker? I must have warpath.
Shit, probably a warpath.
And then the werewolf is going to stand there and contest the little flag and hide behind a wall so he doesn't get
So
shot quite
that
as
little
easily.
gold shrimp on the peak of the roof there is about an inch away from the flag.
Sure.
And they're going to go after some of the other wolfy thingies,
Skinwalkers.
skinwalkers.
Technical term, woofy thingies.
And here I'm actually remembering deflection.
Yep.
So
And what I was trying to go for here is to trigger warpath to move up my stalker a little bit more.
those guys have a lot of health.
And so I believe...
What the heck? I believe
missing.
that would be Jeff remembering deflection.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's hilarious at double
The
speed.
double speed mashed potatoes dance there.
Oh, man.
You look like the boxers in the cutscenes in the Mike Tyson punch out for the nest when they wave their boxing gloves up and down while talking. Mark, 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 mark.
See, I rolled another 4 there, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think you hit that wolf
You roll like a
5
girl.
times, and you did a total of 8 damage, or 7 damage.
Yeah, like I...
Seven
no,
is a very different number than 8 when
Yes,
trying to kill a...
huge difference.
No, I'm pretty sure I killed it, because I did Warpath off of it.
Well, you might have just cheated.
I don't think I...
actually kill it.
I think I did. We'll see.
It is a
There I go,
mystery to
putting
all
another
of us.
point on the card.
That
Well,
was
she
a good
kinda-
one. That was a
Solid
that was
hits.
the hit.
And another point.
I was so angry.
And
I like
solid hit.
I had so many
And-
plans.
Oh, 5 points. Ooh.
I had
1 point
so
left.
many plans for these things, and they just were doing complete crap.
Yeah, see, they're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
I
didn't get a
Warpathed
warpath off there.
with that guy. And that's terrible placing for something that happens later in the game.
Oh, foreshadow.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, it seems too close to the wall. To the building. You're cutting off a lot of your possible charge lanes.
Well, for line of sight only, because he has flight.
That's true.
He has flight, so he
Still.
can go through the building. It would just be a matter if I can see them
Then you can
Right.
go over the building.
over the building.
You can't go through the building.
Well, if I had pure blood, I could go through the building.
Yes, that would be through the building.
Through the building.
That's true. It's a previous battle report that we put up where through the building was an important thing. Spoiler. Although
No,
that
no.
will have aired a week ago by the time we upload this one. But if you guys haven't seen it, it's hilarious.
And this is where we're figuring out that my stones are just a little bit out of command, and I'm learning command rules for stones and
And
how
there
much they
I'm
suck.
pointing around. And then also another thing with you circle players out there, you need to make sure to have your leader stone indicated or pointed out.
Yeah, it's never come up before, and so I didn't ever think about it. I guess it should be the one that has a 1. That's my 1 stone.
Sure.
Because I have like 1.
Are they different models at all, or are they 3 identical models?
They angle differently slightly on the base.
But does like one of them have like a skull next to it, or like any little doodad at all?
Technically, one of them might have some sort of like almost like an emblem on the top, but it's actually just like a moss.
Yeah.
So what's going on here is I can't decide what to do because I'm so flabbergasted by my stones that I activate and decide not to activate several models before I decide on my next turn.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much okay with it.
Yeah, and Jeff was very nice about it.
I mean, I was playing a new list too. Like I said, second time I played Kruger 1.
Yeah, having your Stonekeeper die kind of messed with your stuff.
Oh, with the way I play my unit of stones with the keeper on them, they're always out of command. They're always at the 8-inch command line, not the 4-inch command line.
Sure.
So if my keeper dies, it's bad for me.
Yeah.
But I usually have another unit of stones right there, so it's not too bad.
The other thing that I just remember is I had thought that I put Wild Aggression on the stalker that's in the out of formation stone, so not the one that just sprinted up. And so that was part of it. I was like, well, I'll at least have Wild Aggression and charge for free and then sprint back. But
Hey, that's
then
a 3, a 1, and a 1 you just rolled.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
missed against
I
the charge
missed.
attack there. Against the Skinwalker. Defense 12.
Defense 12. I needed a 6 on 3 dice.
One more. Yeah.
Well,
there
you'll get
it
it
goes.
that time.
No, she goes to hit again. Yeah, so actually hits that time.
Yeah,
And then that guy's only got a point left, so.
we'll call that a day.
And I almost forgot about Toph. Katie kindly reminds me.
They have tough? That's stupid. Oh, Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor,
Duh.
yeah.
Witch, yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I really wanted to not use that Wild Aggression. I put the Wild Aggression on the wrong one. That was poor planning. And then...
And then you move Getterix and move him back, and then move a Stalker.
She was deciding
Actually-
who to Warpath, and she decided to move the Stalker into Warpath the Stalker
Yep.
into combat.
Yeah,
Into some more combat.
probably a good thing to do.
And that would be a miss. Oh no, sorry, that's a tough.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see the dice.
Your tough didn't pay out this game.
No,
It wasn't-
I don't think I made a single tough. Or I made one tough, but you just bought another attack. at the
Yeah.
end.
Interesting. You get to Warpath something else now, right?
Yeah,
Certainly could.
I didn't know what to Warpath, and so I think I tried to Warpath Chromac, and then you
I'm
kindly
like,
reminded me
Warbeast
that you
only.
can't.
Yeah, he can trigger it.
I was
If,
like,
if
crap.
Chromac could be Warpathed up, he'd be even more ridiculous.
And this is why I
People
like
used to play him like that.
Yeah.
This is why I like Death Clock so much, is because you can sit there and be like, oh shit, now I have to think about
Right.
all the things that I can and cannot do, as opposed to being like, well, I only have 10 minutes, and it takes me, 4 or 5 minutes to get through all my activations, so I really only have...
Yeah, no, despite its name and its reputation and whatnot, Death Clock's actually a lot easier for new and casual players, I think,
I
than
really
Time
like
Turns.
it. I like it a
Yeah.
lot better than Time Turns.
Right. Like, it feels like it's stressful because the clock is a lose condition. Just move all the terrain and models, Katie. That's great. The clock's a lose condition, so it's easy to... Now, is that an actual activation, or are you just moving those as part of your sweeping
No, that was
models
an
off the
actual
table?
activation. So what I was doing there is I was seeing where his stalker was at in relation to Getter X and how far I need to move Getter X up. Because what I figured would happen is I would lose a stalker, but I'd be trading a stalker for a stalker, and then Getter X would get up there next turn. And so that's what I was measuring.
Right.
Because when my stones died and I couldn't sprint back and the wrong person had wild aggression, I was like, well, I'm just going to lose a stalker. Like, it's just going to happen. And
Are you
it's
going to
been-
cycle Wild Aggression onto this one, then, or...?
I don't remember if I did or not.
You might.
You don't look like... Oh, I guess you did upkeep like 1,000,000 spells. I was going
Yeah.
to say there's not much Fury on you.
Yep, looks like that's what she did there.
No.
No, I didn't take
The
it
Wild
off
Aggression
the other
token's
one.
still on the
Oh,
other
no,
one.
he must have...
You cast
must have
Sprint.
Oh,
worked
I cast
Strength.
Sprint.
Oh, that's
I
right.
cast Sprint on
Yeah.
him.
Which isn't too bad, because he can kill that guy and then he can sprint away behind that wall and be relatively safe, is my prediction.
You would think that would have been the smart play, wouldn't have?
That would have been a good play. And there's my only tough roll. Only tough roll.
just two Fury on there. I guess one from the charge retroactively.
And no tough, he's dead.
So now you're going to sprint behind the wall where you're safe from all repercussions. So you're just going to go right. I mean, you got Warpath too. You never moved that guy from Warpath, so he could Warpath away, and then you
actually
could.
did. She actually did. She warpathed that one off the tree.
Yeah,
Oh,
top of
did
the
she?
round.
Okay.
I did.
But you see, not behind the wall.
Man, behind the wall would have been so sexy, Katie. If this thing dies, I'm going to blame the fact that it wasn't behind that wall.
Oh, that is not. Oh, spoilers.
Hey,
Okay.
hey,
Spoilers, Nick.
we have a treat for you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm
Oh my
excited.
gosh. Oh, jeez.
So anyway, that's my turn. It was very
Yes.
dreadful.
Oh yeah, and you're moving
all.
your stones into formation so they can catch.
So
that
next
other-
turn you don't get screwed again.
Yeah. And this is not how you want to use your stones. The reason that they're moved so awkwardly is because I thought something else was going to happen, and then I remembered which one I had predicted was the leader, and he was not.
Oh yeah. So here starts.
You are
my
having
turn too.
issue with your stones, Katie.
So
This is not how you play with stones. This is 101 wrong. I'm sorry. Go Jeff.
okay, that's fine because I believe I can say this is I play how you should play with stones because I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them.
Ooh,
So-
stroke that ego.
Yeah.
I do things right.
I preface that because I'm about to say this. This round illustrates my major flaw in gaming with a clock. Is I waste a lot of time in this turn just thinking. I get anxious, I get anxiety, and I just can't commit to a plan. I mean, look at me. I'm just sitting there staring at the table.
Right.
I
Knuckle
said,
down.
you know-
Changed. I'm just sitting
I
there
know what
staring
I
at
would
the
have done
table.
in your situation.
And that's a big. I've gotten less good with it just because I don't know. Recently, I've just become a more sloppy player. But at the height of my tournament skill, a big thing was that at the end of my opponent's turn, I already knew my entire plan for my turn.
Yeah, I need to work.
And
on that.
actually, like at the end of my turn, I would already be like, hey, I know exactly what I'm going to do next turn. And then as my opponent moves a model, I just edit what I'm going to do based on the new thing. And it's always minor edits. It's always little changes. And so as long as you constantly edit your plan based on what's happening, you don't have to start from scratch when your turn starts.
Yeah, but there's flaws in that, and I think this game really illustrates the flaw in that later on.
Possibly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I still haven't moved anything.
Yeah, the flip side is you do have to not get overly committed to something once. If those minor edits add up to the point where it's no longer the correct thing to be trying to do, then you at that point you
Wipe
do
it
need to
clean,
scrap it and wipe
try
it
it
clean.
again.
Yeah, but in general, you'll have things like, well, I need to deliver this model to this location to kill that model or whatever, and then just based on what moves where and what gets killed, you can adjust it accordingly. But
So here
Not always.
So here I've finally decided what the majority of my army is going to do, but I'm curious as to whether or not I have line of sight on a charge lane to that stalker, and of course I do. I thought I might have to walk or warp speed, but he can make it right there.
well, that's not okay.
So there's clear
I
charge
told him
lane.
that he did have the charge lane, unless that's what he wanted to do, in which case it's important and he doesn't have the charge lane anymore. So,
Kind of went down like that.
but yeah, I was pretty sure when I ended my turn that this turn was just going to wreck me, and then we were going to move models around until I finally died.
So-
I was fairly certain that was
Like to
was
point
gonna
out,
happen.
I still haven't done anything yet this turn.
Yeah, it's been 4 minutes
Yeah,
now.
still
The
haven't done
fourth
anything
minute
yet
just
this
ticked
turn.
away. Side note, the Orcs Must Die is really good. Orcs Must Die 2. Anybody listening, if you like tower defense games, you should buy it because it's like one, but exciting and action-packed. Katie, do you like tower defense games?
I'm cleaning my nails.
Yes. Well, to be fair, your opponent's doing dick all.
I just look like I am just standing there.
Just fiddle that
And
tape
part of
measure.
that might have been
God.
my fault too, because I was
Woo!
lamenting
Whoa!
to the entire
Wow, look at that
time.
finger action, Jeff. That tape measure likes you.
I like that tape measure.
Okay, obviously.
Smells like booze.
So I'm finally activating. I kind of screwed up in making sure that my skinwalkers were in range for my witch doctor. I locked one of them behind a unit of stones, 2 units of stones, really. So there's just 2 guys in this, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with him. I have no idea what to do with him,
See, you can run around.
and so I'm like, all right, he'll run, and it's hilarious where I end up running him. Just watch this. He's gonna go. I guess I'm gonna run over here, you guys.
And then there, he's almost in a great spot.
He's almost in a great spot. He actually might have a charge lane next turn.
Well, he's guaranteed a charge lane at something. I mean, it might be one of your own models, but
So these guys. So I think I finally start rolling on these guys, and a good charge attack on both of them. I'm gonna do a CMA, do some damage. Oh, that'd be a
And a
miss.
miss.
That's a big miss.
That was big.
Big,
I was
huge miss.
really excited about that.
Actually, do a hit there
with the second
and-
attack,
Yeah, with their secondary.
feel free to move all those models around. You guys are so sloppy. It's great.
What did I?
When you picked up your dice, like you just that all three, like your Skinwalker and her Stalker, they just got bumped all over to Kingdom Come. You didn't notice that just now?
I noticed me adjusting my charge so I'm facing directly.
No, there's her Stalker.
No,
you moved
that's
her
not what
Stalker
it
around.
is. Oh, okay. All right.
That's all right. I think that's the third time you've done it, and she's done it like 8 times. So you're still
So
ahead on
here's-
the race.
So here's the start of moving Kruger around. So I'm using the UAID set of stones to move one of the other stones up, and I keep checking command. And Katie thankfully allows me to place that stone where I actually wanted to place it because I didn't want to place it there.
Well, I feel like that's only fair after you allowed me to activate and
We're
deactivate
friendly game here. You know, not too much stress. She allows me to put it right there, and I'm much
Right
happier
there.
with that placement. Or maybe
Right
there.
there.
Right there. That's what I want. Yeah, right there. No, that's good. Right there. Oh my god, I hope I don't touch that model again.
Note for the kiddos at home, you can't
All right.
do
So
that.
then, so here's the so Kruger moves up. He's inside that set of small stones, and I want a chain lightning here. Do you know what would have been really, really awesome for me to do here, Katie? Feet.
Feet. Oh,
Feet.
yes. Feet.
I didn't feet.
Hey, remember when you said I should just feet on turn 1?
I sure did say that in our
You
game.
sure did say
Kruger
that.
really doesn't look like he's inside that small group of stones.
Well, the
Well-
other set of stones is actually over on the other side of the feral.
Yeah, and to be fair, I actually brought that up later, and
'Cause
then we decided that was...
You're going to see it. I illustrate where his position is here.
There's I mean, I'm pointing at
That's
the computer
the wide
screen.
stone.
Yeah, so it's that one.
No. It's the one in front of that one, between the feral and that stone.
That's a shrimp, or is it?
There's another one
There's a
hiding
stone
between.
there, yeah.
The
It
stone
just
that you
seems
can
that-
see right next to that hill, that's
just-
the stealth stone. That's not the
I
small
asked the
unit.
Yeah.
same question, and at the end of the day, regardless of whether it was in or not, that was
I
his
eventually see
intent.
there. I'm pointing
Yeah.
to it. You see how far up it is. I then show with my skinwalkers the relative position of the models to illustrate.
Right, so he's
What's
on
going
the
on?
forward side. Like he's, I don't know. To me, he's clearly not
Well,
in that
you're going to
triangle,
see it pretty. It's going to be illustrated there. I'm getting a line out to show where the
All right.
line is.
And then we paused the clock. I
Well,
think.
the only reason I bring it up and I'm being so sticklery about it is that I've seen some people on it's a common belief on the internet that like if you're base to base with
No.
any of the stones, regardless, like you're like,
See
well,
there,
I'm
I'm showing it right there. See where if you're right in front of him, you're obviously not in the triangle. But if you're rotated to the inside of
if
that,
you think
slightly-
so you think you're hugging slightly inside the lip there.
the problem
All
is
right.
the problem is
I mean,
his-
obviously
his-
the camera angle might be
Yeah,
off.
his skirt's kind of covering it up.
All right,
that's
that's
the
fine.
other problem.
Well, and at the end of the day, that was his
Well,
intent.
well,
and
obviously,
it,
he
like,
could be an eighth of an inch back, and you
and
would
it
have been
would-
within it. Like it's
Right.
yeah.
It's like a 16th
Yeah.
a minute.
So it's
No, I like I said, I only bring it up because I know it's a commonly held
don't-
incorrect belief.
So I think it's good to talk about.
Where some people believe that if you're base to base with a stone, you are logically within 0 inches of the stone, so you are therefore within the triangle formed by the stones, and that is not true. It's
Nope.
it's
It's a
ruled
line.
not true. You have to be inside of the triangle formed by lines from the outer points of them, and that's not the same thing. So you can't just touch the outer tip of the stones.
you can't just touch the outer tip.
You can just touch the tip, and
Oh,
you might be
geez.
exciting and whatnot, but it doesn't get you to teleport.
So Kruger went up there to try to pop one of the stones next to Getorix, and he completely failed. And what I should have done is feet there, because
Right.
then I would have gotten rid of all those shrimp and probably some more stones. But
Feeding
it's-
would have been good.
Feeding
At
would have
some
been
point
really
during
good.
The game, feeding would have been good.
oh, spoilers.
I'm so bad.
But so then that feral gets. I don't think I primaled him or anything. I think I just gave him. Oh, I gave him a lightning shroud. Or no,
No,
lightning
lightning
tendrils.
tendrils.
So
Yeah.
he's got e-leaps. There's a couple of rolls into the stone. I never crack its armor. But what happens here is I only hit twice out of 7 attacks.
Yeah, that was a
Really bad.
But the ones that you did hit, you hit really hard.
It's true. The 2 that I hit with got you down to about half.
Well, the feral's what, Matt? 4?
7.
At 7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's there's a lot of lows. A lot of low dice rolled so far.
Well, that's okay. Your Skinwalker survived on that same thing. And obviously that's a fair trade. Your Skinwalker surviving from bad rolls and her Stalker surviving from bad rolls.
Well, both stalkers surviving from bad rolls.
You're more spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because you missed that CMA. That's what I was
that's
clearly
not-
referring to.
Yeah. So that feral fails. I'm like, all right, let's move these stalkers up.
I see.
I know what these woldies are doing.
So, Katie, you feel free to move that Stalker. So, Katie, you moved your Stalker out in the open and direct charge range of a feral wolf on purpose to bait it out, is what you're telling me.
That's what I did, and then I'm gonna use a very similar tactic later in the game. You'll see, it really bears fruition.
Okay.
It really comes to fruition. It's
There's
fruitful.
fruit. It's fruitful.
I like bananas.
So there's a lot of things here. So there might be
Bananas are
some.
good.
There's a lot of discussion here right now because
A lot of rolling that die in your hand.
well,
Good
because
God.
we're talking about when you can use the Stone Ward's magic ability.
Yeah, and I had been told when I first started playing with the shrimp that I couldn't fire and then Zephyr.
Why not?
That's just what I had been told. And
Yeah.
so like I just kind of took it as
Bad info.
A good habit is when somebody tells you something, ask why, and if they don't have an answer, they're lying.
Yeah,
Because
you should have stuck to your guns on that one.
any member of a unit
Well-
can use its action at any time. You know, so you could go shoot a couple of the shrimp and then jump to the Stone Ward, and he can do his ability. Then you can do more of the shrimp, and so on and so forth.
And that is what ended up happening here. Is I believe some of them shot, and then I Zephyred, and then I shot some more.
yeah. And
So I'm splitting my group up here. I like to put a couple of guys to kind of absorb a charge and to speed bump people, and then I move the rest of the unit back. Works out pretty good for me.
Feel free to move that guy again. Is that Joe Gold yet?
What's that?
Nothing. Well, just you Zephyred that guy twice, but you know that's because you undid the first Zephyr.
Yes, correct.
You Zephyred him back, and you
it's-
Zephyred some other guy. You're like,
friendly
"Nah,
game here.
I'll put
It's
him back."
Friendly game.
Yeah,
Friendly
this,
game.
This is a very, very friendly game. I would just like to point out. I'd also like to point out that you started this round like 16 minutes ago.
Oh, it's so bad. Well, 8 of those minutes were just me staring at the table, unable to commit.
But
I hope Travis watches this because he will shoot blood from his eyes over how sloppy the play is because he's such a stickler about that, like to the point of psychosis.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm sorry he has that problem.
And it is his problem, but man alive, it's hilarious how much of a stickler he is about that stuff.
That's not a bad thing.
So here's my stalker going in for the charge. I'm like, woohoo! That would be a whiff on the charge attack, a whiff on his claw.
You just rolled damage.
Oh, sorry, I hit on the claw.
Hey.
Buy another attack, and pretty sure that'll be a miss.
You rolled a pair of ones. That's like a crit, kind of.
And buying another attack.
I just know that by the time you were done with your attacks on that stalker, he had like 5 damage. It was ridiculously low.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I even used my Wilder to put sprint on him because I was going to do this clutch move where I was going to kill that guy and then sprint over to the flag because I'm pretty sure there's nothing contesting that flag right now, and I was going to score a point. That was the plan.
That was the plan.
Good plan.
That was a good plan.
Why didn't you do that?
He didn't kill anybody to trigger
You
sprint.
probably should have killed him.
Oh!
Like I'm just saying, if
In
you
the
rolled
future,
better,
I will take that under advisement.
roll better later. I bought Witcher 2 for $5 also.
I don't know what that is.
That's good too. Oh, so my
I was telling
Woldies-
you about that. That's the one where I played Witcher 1 wrong because you're supposed to do like
yeah,
potions,
yeah,
and
yeah.
instead I just had sex with everyone.
But I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know if that's wrong per se.
Well, that's true.
It's not necessarily wrong gameplay.
Yeah.
It's different.
Still got you through the game, right?
Hey, it got you somewhere.
They got me somewhere, and that place was called Vaginas. Assumedly, I mean they faded to black. Like I could have done anything. I don't know what the Witcher's up to.
So this is more talk about Woldstalker and abilities.
Yeah, and me
And back and forth. That's why the clock is paused right now.
Yeah, and me.
We even got a TO. We even got Carnage over to describe it, so we understood it better.
Yeah. Well, I had been given 2 different.
Yeah, the right one and the
Opinions.
wrong opinion.
Well, I didn't know the difference. Like,
Right.
for all
Mine's
I
the
know-
right one.
Well, but you were using yours to your advantage. And
Yeah,
so I
that's
didn't know
damn
if you were
straight.
if you were just making shit up.
So I got some really great shots in with the Woldstalkers. My first shot took out that wolf from behind cover. That was awesome.
It only defends 17. I mean, come on.
It was pretty good.
good.
I needed the
Your
11.
Woodstockers actually did very nicely.
Yeah,
on
they
their
ripped it up
rolls.
over there. They really did
More
rip it up over
pausing,
there.
more talking.
Well, because
That's
because
Carnage.
even,
Brian.
because
His
even though
crush.
she saw the card and we agreed on what was going on, she had to ask again. That's fine. She's getting confirmation. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. My
Nice.
turn's already taking long enough.
This is more thinking time.
I mean, it's already a disaster.
All
I'm
right,
already
yeah,
like,
right,
well,
of
this
course.
game's kind of wow.
Yeah, but Katie's got that killer. Oh, she just punched Brian. I approve of that. She's got the killer instinct. You see,
She's
she knows that
punching
you're in bad shape, so she's going to just drive it home. She's not going to let you get away with sloppy play, or as you like to call it, correct play.
My regular play.
She does not get away with you following the rules and doing your abilities in a
Pshaw.
valid manner.
It's bullshit.
So there, I'm thinking, what the heck? Let's take a shot at this stalker because the dice
In
were actually
combat.
rolling good
Yeah.
in
I
combat.
was really excited that he
like,
missed
whatever.
right there because he had like 3 hit points left. That stalker. He
Yeah,
was,
I thought I was going to kill him.
he was.
I didn't even hit him. But then I
was
missed
close
my
to
own feral in combat, so that was good too.
needing a 10. I mean,
Do I
You had
actually
back arc.
do I actually kill all of your wold? I kill everyone but the stone guy,
but
right?
the keeper.
Yeah.
Or I guess not the keeper, but the little dude.
And that's it for me. That turn took long enough.
It was only like 20 minutes.
Oh, so bad. So bad. 10 minutes longer than it needed to be.
On the bright side, I bought System Shock 2 on the Steam sale yesterday. It was only $2.50.
I'm sorry. Is our game boring you?
No, well, kinda.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a boring. It's a boring game. It's poorly played on both
Well, it really,
sides.
it really. I'd like to say my gameplay isn't poor, but my dice were. I mean, what mistake have I made in my gameplay?
Well, it's coming later.
Coming later. Okay, that's
hey,
fair enough.
that-
It's coming later.
That
That's fine.
Skinwalker got stuck behind your stones,
Okay, that is a mistake.
and then you cheated and used Zephyr halfway through your activation. I'm pretty sure, Katie, that's not legal, by the way. I don't know if anybody told you that. Also, like you probably should have had your feral kill that guy, and then
Yeah,
you should have
that
had your
would've been-
stalker kill that other guy.
That's
as well.
that's a big mistake. You're right. That was my fault.
Also, just to mix it up with a valid one, you might have wanted to defeat.
Oh God. So that was 1, 2, 3,
It's
4.
not- it's
Thanks, you
not-
guys. This is why I need friends. So they can be like, no, you did it. You did this wrong, and
We
you did
love
this
you,
wrong, and you did this wrong.
That's what friends are for?
That's what friends are for. That's enemies say mean things about you behind your back. Friends say that to your face. Were those 3 1s, Katie, that just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah, there's a lot of misses.
Good old sexy triple
Still
ones.
more misses. Yeah, I
I
don't.
boosted all
Do
my
you even kill?
to
You don't,
hits.
no, that guy uses his entire activation. He doesn't kill either of those guys.
Yeah. He
That's
It does not make any sense.
it was terrible. It was just horrendous.
This is just the game of fail.
That's how excited I was. Like, he saw me like yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, hey, you got a hit. Woo!
Like,
For you. Yeah, there it is.
like with wild aggression, usually a mat 6 isn't that big of a deal, and then I got a really nice damage roll, which was fantastic.
Yeah, putting some damage on that stalker there.
Oh, I thought you were killing the little guys. That's why I was wondering about the
Well,
location.
she like her initials were against him, the little guys, and that they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
So
like
she just kept buying attacks on the stalker. Then
the plan was to mop them up with the initials and then buy the stalker attacks. Makes sense.
yeah,
Just for sake of
Except for
bad
those
luck,
ones.
it's probably worth it to take the initials on the stalker, and then if you kill it, then you can buy the attacks on the other guys.
I don't
And-
think I took any attacks on the.
Oh, you think
on the
Jeff's
stalker.
just lying to
you
us?
just did them all on the stalker.
I did them on the stalker. I don't think
That
I
would
did.
explain the misses better
Yeah.
then.
Yes, it
I
would.
mean, the 3 1s really would have missed
Well,
anyone.
yeah, right.
But there was a 1-2-4 I saw, and then you scooped that as a miss, and it confused me.
That
and
would have
that
been a
makes more
14.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
14 against the stalker then.
I probably would have ignored the skinwalkers.
It would have been a 13 against Stalker. She's mat 6. 1-2-4 plus 6.
Right, and he's
Yeah.
a 14, therefore.
Right. It would have
Yeah.
been a 13 against 4. I see what you're saying. Huzzah!
So, and this is where I'm trying to decide what's more dangerous, either what's more valuable to kill, the feral or the stalker, because I clearly need to put wild aggression on one of them in order to kill something, because I'm not going to hit a 14 with a 6 and an 8.
Hypothetically, again, not involved, but so like the two of them are his big threat. Could Getarex not kill the one in the middle of the table, and Chromac, if he had beasted out, kill the feral
Well,
with the stalker's help? It seems to me that
he
you got two
could've,
stalkers and then Chromac and Getarex, and between the 4 of them, you probably could kill both.
That stalker should be able to kill that feral with a buff on it, like wild aggression.
Yeah.
He should be able to.
well, I should have been able to kill your stalker without
Indeed.
using Getarex.
Indeed.
With wild aggression up, all of my hits all my attacks should have hit.
Should have hit.
Because I needed 8s on 3 dice.
So like 70% of them hit. Yeah,
Not, 30% of them.
right. Big difference.
And then it would have been dice even for the most part.
Sure.
And so here's some more friendly gameplay.
She hadn't let go of him yet.
Friendly
Oh,
gameplay
wow.
here. Friendly gameplay. Well, it was one of those. She was asking me information, and as information came in, it was clear that Getarex needed to be placed somewhere else.
Hey, I was asking for clarification on the rules.
Which-
Such as,
Isn't that what I just said?
What rule?
do they have reach?
Oh,
Why, of course they do.
113. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, it's just
So,
insane.
Another 113. Two
Yeah,
in a
just
row of
Insane.
exactly 113.
Yeah, it's
I have to buy an attack. Those are my 2 initials on the stalker with wild aggression up because I activated Chromac to put wild aggression on Getarex because I was like, I clearly need 3 dice in order to hit something.
Right.
I should almost, when this video goes up, just count how many attacks and how many misses there were, because there were a lot.
Well, 665 hits.
Yeah.
All day long.
So I go ahead and boost because I can't hit it with Jack and get a decent hit.
Average. Yeah.
And that'll kill him.
Yay!
And that makes me really sad.
See, I mean, that's what I mean. That like he only needed 1 hit from Getarex, and how many times did I miss with the stalker? So,
Right. Sure.
It shouldn't have been a question about.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
No, I hear you.
not really
Circle
helping.
beasts die easily if you hit them, and with wild aggression, you should hit them.
Yeah. I'm not doing very well for like my 1 vice here because I'm looking at how little time I have. I'm thinking, great, now I'm down a beast. And so, yeah. I'm not helping myself out here. I'm not thinking happy thoughts.
Well, I wasn't thinking happy thoughts until I saw your turn play out, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe we still have a game." So now the feral's over there with the stalker, and I have to roll. I don't know what I'm rolling at the moment, but
Looks like damage.
I think I actually
That was
hit
damage. You
on the-
hit on your first attack.
and we were all shocked.
That might be the only one that hits, I think.
No, he was.
Because that guy
He
only
was
got...
pretty damaged at the end of the turn.
Yeah, I did have to heal him, I think. We'll have to
Spoilers.
find out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well, I have to
we don't have to find out very much. We know he
It's
survives.
gonna come up in.
I don't know.
It's true. That is true. You guys have been wrong on several occasions so far this game. Did you even play this? Were you watching somebody
I'm pretty
else's
sure
game?
that is me over there. I don't think there's anyone else with a nose that big. Seriously, look at it. Just
There's
stick it in your brain
Adrian
there.
Brody. Adrian Brody, he's a Hollywood
Okay,
actor.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
There you go. You got a heartthrob's nose.
Sounds good.
Man, did he not deserve that Oscar.
What are you an
Just
Oscar
throw that out
for?
there. The penis.
I've never seen that one. Oh no, that's the German one where they all
Yeah.
come and they murder people.
Yeah, well, that was called World War II.
Yeah,
And it does take place during World War II.
He played a Jewish person for some reason.
I am going to bite my tongue on that one.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm just moving up my little shrimpies to shoot at their little
Hey,
shrimpies.
did you just shoot twice and then Zephyr?
Yes,
You know that's
she
legal,
did.
Katie.
Yes,
Hey,
she did.
I did
She's
do that.
applying. She's applying.
And then
the
remember
tech.
how I was like, oh man, he's in kind of a bad position, and you can see me looking.
Yeah. So she wants to charge the one that's right next to the church there, but instead she goes, "I'm going to charge this one," and comes up short.
short. Well, I couldn't see the one right next to the
That's true.
church, and so I was like, oh, I guess I'll charge the next one. But it didn't occur to me to think, oh man, he's out of range.
And this was the Scarsfell Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you couldn't just do a super trample
No,
because that's the other one.
that's the other one.
Yes.
But I like him as I didn't play him the way I'm supposed to in this game, but I like him to like go stand around near a flag and contest it or get points and be out of control.
Yeah, I mean, really, if he maybe would have,
Out of control.
Well,
I mean,
like-
getting on that control point was probably the best place for him. He's only 5
Yeah.
points. He's a good beast to just get out there and
And
hold a point.
depending on, I can't see that flag, but if he could have still been within 4 inches behind that church, like he could have just sat there all game contesting like an asshole.
I believe the edges of those hedges there are about the 4 inches.
Ah, sure. So no
I mean,
such
Jeff
luck
set
there.
up the train, so he probably pre-measured.
Probably.
No, I didn't. Oh my gosh.
I will point out one of my favorite things is to put linear obstacles in just barely an annoyingly not useful place.
Was the one you do the wall right on the
13.9 inches up the table. I will put linear obstacles all day, every day.
That's so
and just
mean.
watch people in killbox scenarios either A, notice it, or B, not notice it. Those are both funny to me.
so bad.
Hey, you know what? You can hide your squire behind it or something. Like, it's not. Well, I was about to say it's not my fault it's in the kill box, but it actually is my fault because I did it on purpose because I hate you all.
So what I'm seeing right now is how close that Feral is to Chromac. And I think that Feral can get to Chromac, possibly without even warping speed.
Possibly.
But he's engaged with a Stalker.
Yeah, but boosted hits don't hit. Or +2 to hit. Stalker's not going to hit you. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's actually as you. I just want to point out right now, Chromac is sitting on 2 transfers.
Yeah,
It's
so
very
it was.
important.
It was still. I was in this mindset where I have to overextend. I have to make something happen.
Right.
And I probably shouldn't have. Kruger is a really strong warcaster, and so I probably just should have thought to play more attrition. Perhaps even pop my feet.
Feeding would have been good
Feeding would have been good. Feeding probably would have been good this turn as well.
anytime. Really.
Any turn, really.
Yeah.
Is the, I mean, pick any of them. Some are better than others.
You know,
but
well, and his lasts like turn after turn too. So
Yeah.
there's really
Saving it for the last turn or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, remember Arc 1 when you got to move them? That was a load of bullshit.
so scary.
God,
so
like what the
broken.
hell, man?
Oh man.
Just this magic eraser, just going across the table, just wiping out
I played him in
infantry.
Mark 1 once with a bridge, and the only way to get to the zone was this bridge for my opponent, and I think I landed 2 of them, and I just drove one onto the bridge, and then he moved into it, and I drove another one onto the bridge. It's bad.
Yeah.
That's just mean.
Well, it's just like you'd move them and you just move them back and forth, zigzagging them through all the infantry, and be like, all that stuff dies. And it's like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, it all dies.
I feel like I want to play in Mark 1 because it sounds like it's a lot easier to just murder things.
It wasn't too much fun to actually play in Mark 1.
Well,
though.
the thing is, though, we love the game. Like,
It's still a good game.
It's retroactively, like, every once in a while I'll just be horrified at things in Mark 1. Like I'll wake up in a cold sweat and just be like, disabled jacks. Like, what the fuck, man? Disabled jacks. Remember disabled jacks, Jeff?
I do remember.
How the hell did we play this game?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, that's why there was Infantry Machine so bad in Mark 1.
If a jack had 3 crippled systems in Mark 1, it just...
It was out.
It just laid there. It was basically dead, except it was still a model. It just didn't get to do anything.
Could
so
you heal
insane.
it?
You could repair it back to functionality, yeah, but until you did that, it just sat there being shitty.
Yeah, you could get unlucky damage and still have a lot of open
Oh,
boxes,
yeah, you take like 12
and you're
damage
done.
and die.
Yeah, and you're done. Doesn't make any sense. Especially when some of these warjacks have like 30 plus boxes.
Although it did save my ass once because Butcher 2 was coming for me, and he had to sit there and keep attacking a disabled jack because it was still a model.
Oh, no.
It's like, yeah, it's still there, and so he's just beating on this disabled jack.
Yeah. So what we missed here was I did a double teleport with Kruger to get into combat with that stalker,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to tornado him. Because
And-
tornado's great.
And the reason that he wanted to get in combat is because it'd be easier to hit my guy.
Right, the +4 then, yeah.
Indeed.
It's essentially +4 to
And
his
so
to hit roll.
And
And
so, not only did I smacked him down an inch, killed him, and then I killed him. And so
Hey.
there's Chromac with, like, what does he have, 5 Fury now? 6?
6.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, that was pretty dumb. Yeah, here I am, just miserable.
You did that against me one game recently,
Oh,
where
I
like you
sure
were going for
did.
the assassination. I had like 2, and you're like, "Oh, this beast is in my way," so you killed the beast.
Yeah, just walk right into it.
And then you charge something at my caster, and you're like, "All right, wait. Since when do you have 5 transfers?" And I'm like, "Since like 2 minutes ago when you killed that beast."
God, Nate, you know what the worst part about that game was? Is
What?
it was Morvana. So
Yeah.
it didn't even matter.
Yeah,
Did you actually kill me in that game?
I might have. Yeah, I think after
Did
that,
you?
like, because you were just up there, and then
Yeah, she was
I
just
finished.
all by herself, yeah.
I think I don't remember.
So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do here. It's nice because I have Kruger there, so I can measure my range. And I don't know what I'm doing here. What I should have done here in retrospect is number 1, feet. Number 2, scenario.
Yeah.
Focus on scenario. That side of the board
I had
yours.
abandoned it.
is mine. And the only things that are going to get over there are beasts that'll have to run at me because I am now behind the line of sight of both of those beasts in the middle of the table.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I really should have focused on it. Here I'm just thinking I'll put as much
Well, and
damage
especially
as I can on Chromac so he puts that damage on his beasts.
Looking at your unit of shrimp up top there, like they could have been controlling.
They haven't activated yet this turn.
Oh, they haven't? I thought they did this turn.
Nope.
That was last turn?
That was last turn. This
Oh.
is the first thing I did because it's possible assassination, so I just
Gotcha.
go for that right away. And there was no other activation-specific things.
I'd like to point out, I do have the stones there, so, I mean, yes, you should have focused on that because they've been easy to kill, but that's what I would have contested it with, is the stones.
Oh,
The shifting stones, yeah.
The shifting
But he still
stones.
could have scored this turn. I
Yeah.
mean, assumedly he might still.
And then the other thing is, I expected more beasts today, and so that's why they're also hot on Fury.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of misses. I think that Feral actually missed a bunch, too. I think you only transferred twice.
I
Which-
transferred once.
Once.
Which means you could have let all that fury from the stalker go and been okay.
I could have, but you
But
don't
obviously
know
you
that.
don't know that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So here my skinwalkers are going again, just tying up beasts, putting damage on things. My Gorax activated and got a charge on the
He's facing the wrong way.
stalker. Yeah, he's doing the
You're supposed to
butt
face
face.
directly away
You
from
do the
the
butt face.
guy
Yeah,
that you
it's,
charged.
it's Titan facing.
Yep.
That might be my least favorite model in the Privateer Press line, by the way. The original Gorax.
He's not. Yeah, he's not good.
It's very derpy.
Yeah, the fingers on his hands are all weird too.
Yeah, and the lean angle doesn't look right. It just doesn't work.
Well,
He
mine's
looks
put
like-
together funny too.
They're all like that, though. They've all got... Yeah, it just doesn't... It doesn't look like he's straining against the rock that's holding him back.
No, he just looks
It does
goofy.
not look like
Yeah,
that.
he just looks goofy.
He looks like somebody with Down syndrome.
Wow.
Welcome back from the edit.
Wow.
No, Katie's allowed to say that. She married someone with Down syndrome.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Touche. So
Neither confirm nor
here's my
deny.
World Stalkers doing nothing but going in and getting a control point there. And what
Do
they
you have
should have
enough
done
of
is
them
shot
base
the
to base?
stones. No, only one of them is actually base to base.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rest are just there.
Gotcha. Yeah, they could have shot a
But
stone.
they could have shot
sometimes.
at stones. It's very silly for me not to do that.
They could have feeded.
Yeah, it's so bad. So bad. This is a textbook example of how not to play Kruger 1.
Right. Well, you've done several individual things, like you're
I've done
saying,
some
like
good things.
it's they're two different skills. And some games, whatever, but they're two different skills, which is tactics and strategy. And then within that, you have like individual activations, and you can do perfect individual things, and then just miss larger, broad ideas. Like, hey, at this point, I should be going for scenario instead of an assassination, or
It was
whatnot.
definitely it, and I was definitely feeling the time crunch.
Well,
I mean,
this is where, you were saying earlier, you have your plan and that's what you're going to go for. I think this is where it can be a downfall, because obviously he should have changed his plan, and his plan was to kill Chromac, and so that's what he concentrated on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's also another good example of just playing the game out. Because I
Right.
really did think after I failed here and just I was very miserable. I'm like, well, I guess we'll just keep playing. And I think it's good that we did.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we did. I learned a lot continuing this game
About how terrible
about
things
what
can
mistakes
go.
to never make again.
Oh, hi, Jason's head.
Whoa! he's trying to get a shot of that cleavage. That's what he's trying to do.
What cleavage?
What's up here on the internet?
right there.
You've shown more. That's pretty tasteful. Katie does like to let the girls out sometimes.
It's a strategy.
Well,
I like it that you can see my bra the entire time.
You can always see your bra, Katie. Always.
I figure, here's the thing though, they're pretty, and what's
Bras?
the sense of buying something that's pretty if you can't show it off?
Oh yeah, no, it's not like your boobs are hanging out like literally like, oh, there's her nipples or whatever. Your bra's showing a little bit.
Oh,
Whatever.
it's tasteful. That's
It's
absolutely
tasteful. Hey, in the Renaissance era, they'd have one boob hanging out all the time, and that was just tasteful. Like,
Well,
there's
it's how you
nothing
kept
wrong.
cool.
There's nothing wrong with a little tasteful nudity.
Cool.
I mean, I can let one of my boobs hang out right now while we
jeez.
record. Don't act like you don't love it, Jeff.
I don't love it.
You love it.
I don't like this.
I can pass
Oh
the
my
pencil
gosh.
test.
I'm sure that's Beeb going, oh my gosh.
So clearly we've passed the turn back to Katie. I get a point. And I'm like, all right, what can you do?
Well, in here, I was trying to decide whether it was better to have Geterex go after Kruger or to beast out and have Chromac back away and go after Kruger.
I should tell you what I was scared. What I figured.
Oh, Jesus.
That's going to be some.
What
noise. So what I figured what was going to happen here was Chromac was going to beast out. He was going to walk to just within reach range or a melee range of that feral, and then leap. And then even if he wasn't in range, or sorry, he's not going to beast out, but he's going to leap over to where Kruger is. And then if he doesn't get melee range, you could probably just spell kill me to death with
you have
rips.
zero fury on you?
I have zero.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I decided is I won't beast out. I will leave Wild Aggression on Geterex, and then I'll just charge Geterex over to Kruger. And what
But
you're
there I'm
seeing
showing
here,
where your line of sight is.
I don't have
Right.
any line of sight, but I had
Yeah.
already declared that I wasn't beasting out and that this is what I was doing.
So, the stalker failed its frenzy check, right? Is that
Yes.
what happened? Okay.
That
Yep,
did
it
happen,
did.
yes.
So, what about keeping Warpath up, having the Griffin kill one of those shrimp, Warpathing Geterex, and then charging
Warpath
Kruger?
had dropped the turn before.
Well, cast it then. Or maybe you do. But to me, it looks like Geterex has a...
Could still do it, yes.
So, again, just looking at this, it seems like the Griffin could kill that shrimp that's right next to him. I mean,
Yep.
it's an inch away. He's going to do it. Then, never mind then.
Yeah,
Because
well,
now Geterex is moving. But it seems to me like you easily could have gotten Warpath off on
And then
Geterex
that's
and then
what I
charged
should've
Kruger.
done.
I think it's important to note, though, that she was engaged by two skinwalkers.
well, I would have taken free strikes because Geterex had no damage to him whatsoever.
Yeah, but PAL 13 free strikes?
It
I don't know.
I would have taken it. I don't think that you would have crippled his system, and it doesn't matter at that point how damaged he is by the time he gets to Kruger.
Especially if she can... Well, he's far
Well,
away. She might not be able to get Wild
Kruger's
Aggression.
kind of hard to hit. He's defense 16.
That's a good
Well,
point.
I had kept Wild
That's a
Aggression
good
up on
point.
Geterex.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, he's
And
got
a
Wild
Mat
Aggression,
8,
so...
or Mat 7. At 7. So I would have needed 9s on 3 dice.
And even if you take out the body, or even if you take out the mind, 9s on 2 dice is still possible.
Mm-hmm.
If you take out the spirit, he still gets the charge, and he just needs to hit you that once with the boosted to hit.
Indeed.
So any of the systems being lost, she still probably gets you.
I also kind of forgot about the fact that he could probably Warpath take those free strikes. Chromac then activates heals.
No, Warpath had dropped, so he would have to cast it first.
I'd have to cast
If
it.
Warpath was still up, that's true. You're right.
A lot of order activation
Yeah.
stuff here.
If Warpath was still up, that would have been true. But obviously not the strategy she's going for
Well,
anyway.
I was so upset when you pointed out that
You couldn't charge?
I couldn't charge. I was I was just so upset. I can't describe it. Like my mind just kind of. It's like when I lost the Stonekeeper and my stones were out of formation. It's just like, oh my god, what do I do now?
Yeah, there's
and so it's one of those ones where I had plenty of time. I should have just taken a step back and thought, well, what are my options?
Yeah, you had plenty of time to stop and think. I've been squandering my time.
But this is where Chromac just flat out kills a feral, not beasted out. So POW 11s right there.
Take that.
Yep, dice -5s.
But now I have no fury.
Well,
So I beasted out, or I feeded as a defensive mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I had, at that point, you're right, that's what I should have done, is activated them, cast Warpath, gone for the feral, and then done the rest with Getter-X, but...
I think the Chromac spell assassination might be even more of a thing, though.
it might be.
Because
Or
even
the
because
spell
you don't even need to hit
assassination.
me, because you can boost splash damage and kill Kruger, no problem. And you can probably get close enough to where they can't drift off me.
Well, and I could have aimed at the stone.
Yeah, you could have had one of your
Absolutely
stones
could've.
teleport
Yeah.
next to him.
So there are lots of options that I could have done, none of which I chose.
Oh, another
So-
thing here, too, is after you feeded, you mentioned later on in this round that you wished you would have spent some of that fury to heal up your beasts.
Yep.
And that would have been a bad move, I think. Because, him sitting there with 6 fury, there's really nothing I can do. There's really nothing I can do. But him sitting there with 3 fury
You got a
Now
chance.
it's a game, yeah.
might have a chance.
You're probably still safe with 3 Fury, but you're invincible with 6.
And then all I'm doing here is making it so that he has to... I guess I could have moved the stone somewhere else, because the second set of stone moves
Yeah,
didn't really do anything.
to be fair, I didn't remind you that Kruger can
Can get
cast
flight.
Skyborn and give himself flight until you moved that set of stones. So, and I'm like, oh, he has flight and I can cast it.
Right,
but
but
it-
even-
but I did say that it causes me to have 2 less fury.
Yeah.
to do it,
With
so-
or without flight, that second set of stones is superfluous.
Right.
Your charge lane is either
That's true.
blocked or not
Yeah,
by that
and-
first
Well,
set.
there's a lot of Wold Stalkers back there. They could maybe shoot that first set out.
That's true. That is somewhat valid.
But either way, this is just poor playing, because as we've talked about, there
It's a
are
game
tons
of
of things
fail.
I could have done and I chose not to. So this is an excellent example of what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think it's because I was so flabbergasted about not
We were both pretty flabbergasted about the dice.
Well,
dice
the
were
dice-
so bad.
And then there were just things that just tilt you, and then you play even more poorly. So,
Yeah, definitely.
and the Getter-X thing definitely tilted me.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
Did he didn't really... Oh, I guess he killed a couple skinwalkers. Getter-X doesn't seem to have done much.
Oh, I'm asking. I think it's my turn now. So I'm asking who's got Fury where and what the hit points look like, because already in my mind, I'm thinking I'm still committed to just killing Chromac. I'm not thinking I have 2 control points right now. I can fly back to the flag, go up 4, and now you have to throw everything at the flag that I'm on to prevent me from scoring.
Yep.
yeah,
And
you
that's
win on
really
her
what I
turn,
should have
yeah.
done. That's really what I should have done. That is not what I do. So as you can see here, I'm just checking. I'm checking distances.
Yeah, like you're accidentally winning by scenario while trying to kill her.
That's a fair assessment, Nate. That is a fair assessment. It's. I'm basically. I'm counting up. I'm just trying to put as much damage as I can wherever I can.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
thinking, hey, maybe if I put damage on these beasts, I force you to transfer and kill them, and then that's bad for you because that gets rid of fury on them.
All right, I need you to mention how they pause the clock all constantly.
We're pausing the clock for valid rules discussions.
Which,
Yes.
yeah, in a tournament, only the TO can pause the clock. They're not in a
Oh.
tournament. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter how valid you think the discussion is. In a tournament, the only person allowed to hit that touch that pause button is the TO.
Oh, I've had my opponents touch it, and I've touched it.
Nope, it's a DQable defense.
Uh-oh.
You call the TO over, the TO comes, and they either answer it quickly, or if they think it's worth pausing, they pause it. But if anybody touches that button except the TO, they can and possibly will be disqualified.
What if it's on your time and the opponent is the one that has the question? Your
Then
time
you
just
switch
keeps
it,
ticking
you
down?
switch it to
Yeah.
their time.
No.
Oh,
No?
okay. That doesn't seem fair. I mean, either way, switching it over or just,
It shouldn't take more than 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And, it shouldn't take much time, and so it's too abusable if it becomes a habit. So it's just banned.
So here I'm moving
This
my.
is where these guys, I think, go lights out.
They do go lights out. They need like 8s to hit.
And the thing is, he can still just have Cromack or Kruger fly back and get 2 points anyway. He doesn't need those guys anymore.
Right.
That's it would have been such a better move. But so I'm like, well, let's just see how much damage I can put on them. And they did roll lights out. I think
Yeah,
you
I
end
think,
up
like-
I end up putting like 4 or 5 points on you, and you transferred once or twice.
Yeah, well, you hit 3 times, I think.
Oh man.
But I think, again, it's where somebody isn't thinking clearly because they're so upset about what's
Yep.
happened already.
I'm locked, just like we were talking earlier. I'm locked in a mode. I have a concept of I have to just kill Cromack. That's my only hope. And the only piece that I can really do it with is my Warcaster, which, should have just backed up. Thought.
And the funny thing, the thing is, I either had to kill you on my turn or I lost the game regardless of what you did after that because you would have won on scenario.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He'd be a four-
that is right, yeah. I
well,
do
you
get
could
another
have
model.
hypothetically typed...
Well, a stone, but...
but even still, the stones at worst make it so that you don't lose on your turn. His turn, he can kill a couple stones with Cromack. Or Kruger, yes.
Mm-hmm. They're two Ks.
Kaya, Cromack, Kruger,
Oh, it's terrible.
Killbull.
But he
Kilroy.
does have a sustained attack on Kruger, and so he only
Yep.
has to hit me once.
His charge attack hits there, and that's good news for me. And I think my damage ends up going pretty good here, but...
It's like 1 or 2... Well, the thing is...
Don't say but. Don't spoil this. It's dramatic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, it's not dramatic anymore. Maybe. I don't know. You said but.
Well, it was more like a butt to just look over at Katie to verify that I'm remembering it right.
Oh, gotcha. Also, I picked up Hotline Miami for $2.50.
I don't know about that game.
I don't know either, but I heard a lot of people that like it, and it was $2.50. I'll probably never play it. It's like the 20 things I bought for the Christmas sale that I've never played. My Steam thing is full of games I've never played. I saw a statistic once, like the percentage of games on Steam that have been played less than 10 minutes by the people that own them, and it's something like 60% of them. It's a ridiculous
That's an
percentage
awesome
of games.
statistic.
They don't care how long you play it, man.
Right, they don't, but that just shows how much money we throw at Steam. It's like, here's my money, download these games. They're such a great deal.
Yep. So, am I still... I think I'm still rolling. Yeah, I'm still rolling with Kruger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kruger's
I had,
kicking ass.
what is it, 6 attacks with Kruger?
It was a lot.
Yeah. Well, 7... Yeah, 7 down to 5 focus, and every single one of my focus was just buying attacks. I think it was that
Because
dice minus 1.
you cut for so you'd be full.
Yeah, I took some damage. I figured, what the heck? Doesn't matter. No big deal.
No biggie. And I was like, yes, I've done damage to your warlock. I can go home now. Done. Game over. But yeah, it's coming to a close. I promise you guys it's almost over.
Yeah,
Well,
this
Jeff's
game-
only got 6 minutes, and his caster has 0 fury and is standing next to Cromack.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of
Kruger.
the other thing, too. Is,
Kaya.
again, I've got this anxiety, and, like, I have a hard time playing through it. And the clock definitely adds to it. And I'm happy to play with a clock because I'm happy to work on it.
Yeah.
So,
You and I have talked about your thinking length before.
Indeed.
Yeah. To some level of politeness. Yeah, no, I love playing again. Like, timed games are good. Not just Jeff in general, because obviously you've talked about it a whole bunch of this thing, so it's not like I'm calling you out on something. But just
no.
in general, I have a kitchen timer in my War Machine bag. And actually, despite saying this, I don't use it all the time, but I probably should. Like, it's worth timing your games. Just number one, because that way when you have like a 3-hour War Machine night, you get to play 2 games instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And number 2, just for the practice of it. Like,
Yeah.
time turns are a lot easier when you're used to them.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few really nice timer apps you can get. Real simple.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of spamware on them. I've got a great chess clock one that doesn't even chew up battery life.
Why wouldn't you want spam? What I do is I have some hardcore pornography on my phone that's exactly 7, 10, and 12 minutes long. So depending on the point thing, and then it's really good because I can when I hear certain orgasms, I'm like, that's the 6-minute mark. I got a minute left.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty.
Gross.
That's clutch.
Yeah, that's not there. It's not very good.
What?
I don't want to hear orgasms while I'm playing War Machine.
Yeah, well, I'm throwing you off your game. It's tech. It's O-Tech. Like Katie's trying to play it, and she just hears, do it, baby! And it just throws her off the game.
Yeah, so here I'm literally looking at my clock like, well, I've pretty much lost this game. Let's give up. Pretty much, I run again, I'm not thinking about scenario, but I'm still playing for scenario because I moved my Wilder over there to get more points.
What's hilarious is looking at this right now, if you end your turn, and then Katie does her turn and doesn't kill you, and then you just end your turn, you win.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
well,
win.
I can move my stones up there, but to contest, so at least I would get another turn. But Chromac also at this point is down to 1 health point.
Yes, he is.
Chromac is?
Yes, he is.
Well, because he was doing like 1 or 2 damage, and so I just kept taking it. Mm-hmm. Although I was talking to Jeremy later, if it's anything over 1 point of damage, I should just transfer it because I did have some fury that I could have pulled back off of.
Well, to be fair, I mean, how often have you played against Kruger 1? And this is your second game in how long? So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there were some fury counting issues.
There were lots of good reasons why I did so poorly. Let's talk about those.
Well, you're a girl.
I'm sorry. What does that have to do with the conversation?
I was just because they're
pointing
bad
out
at games.
merely statements of fact.
Oh,
it's just known that girls can't play games.
is that why you're bad?
That's
at
why you
games?
lose at Lords of Waterdeep all the time.
Oh, burn! Oh.
I love you, Katie.
You're an ass face.
So are we
I have
actually,
an ass face.
I think we're on. I think we're on Kruger, and you are putting damage on
It's
me.
Chromac.
Well, what I'd ask because he had
She's attacking Kruger. She's on him.
he had fury on the Gorax. I said, if I snack, do you get to reave that fury? And he said no.
No. Yeah, there it is. Good game.
So
Game
we
of
did
fail
that first
over.
because- yeah, no. Thank goodness. this is the worst game I've ever played in my life.
Brian and I had a game a couple weeks ago that we called on account of boredom.
Yeah, this one was pretty much there. I mean, it's
You guys were doing stuff.
I learned a lot. Like I said, I pulled a lot out of this game. I'm not going to play like this again ever, and hopefully my dice will never roll like that again ever.
The big thing to look at this is the fact that despite you were down heavies and despite that things look good attrition wise for her, you had won the game if you just pulled back and did scenario.
Right.
It is true. It's true. I had that game by scenario.
It's also good to watching it and hearing people, you should have done this. It's like, yeah, that would have been good to keep it in mind for next time when you're in similar situations.
Now we actually have to keep that stuff in mind.
Keeping stuff in mind is tough.
It is tough.
Lame. Are we done now?
Well, we can be done now. We didn't have to be done this exact instant if you had more post commentary.
Would you change your list at all, Katie?
I've been thinking about the Griffin, and I like him because he's a cool model. But we talked about the Gorax last night, and
Indeed.
then I would get another point back because he's 4 instead of 5. I don't know. What about you?
I like my list. I like it a lot. I'm going to play it again at least once more, and hopefully it'll do better.
I think it will. I think you will do better. This was just a terrible game.
It was the game. I'll say it again. It was the game of fail.
Was. All right, now we're done.